Hey everyone, Duke here, and today we're going to talk about some tips for being the Relic holder in the Master Templar challenge. Last time this challenge came around, I made a pretty deep and detailed guide on DPS and survival for Master Templar, which I'll link below. But I feel like discussing some more strategies to use as the Relic holder is something that I can go into even further detail on this time. Before I begin, for those that are still looking to get a Timelost Fatebringer, or have one but want more or better rolls, I will be doing helps on stream this Wednesday and Thursday evening, as well as Saturday for a longer Christmas stream at twitch.tv/DukeIsCool. As the Relic holder, your mod, weapon, and class setup is going to be a bit different and separate from the rest of the team that's focused on DPS. Your number one most important goal is survival, which to be fair is no different than a DPS team, honestly, but you're less worried about DPS unless or until you get more comfortable in the Relic role. For mod setup, I'd recommend running double solar resist to protect yourself from harpy damage. For the most part, the Templar itself should be focused on your DPS team, so void resist or concussive dampener should be less necessary. Also, protective light and taking charge will, as always, be quite helpful towards your survival. Do note that a while back there was a patch that makes it so you cannot pick up orbs while holding the Relic, so you'll either need to get your charge with light stacks before starting the encounter, and or drop the Relic for a quick second while moving from teleport block to teleport block to pick up an orb for the charge with light stack. For subclass choices, I'd recommend safety for a few reasons I'll go over later, but the main idea is that if you die as the Relic holder, it's pretty much a guaranteed wipe. So anything we can do to not die while making sure we block the teleports is going to be paramount. For Warlock, that means Will of Radiance. For Titans, Top Tree Sentinel for the bubble on a point in a pinch, and for Hunters, top or bottom tree tether for invisibility. For dodge invisibility, you'll want to max out your mobility, and for smoke invisibility, I'd recommend Omnioculus. The main key is running something you are comfortable with though, as there's going to be some spots that may get a bit tight, and depending on the rest of your team's levels and weapon loadouts, you may need to work in some DPS yourself as you get comfortable running. To start as the Relic holder, you're obviously going to want to grab the Relic to start the encounter, and then you will make it to where the rest of your team is grouped up. In normal mode, you can easily take out some of the oracles and harpies using the Relic and go pretty much wherever you want, but you do not want to be near the side all the enemies are spawning in Master, with how hard everything can hit, as well as the harpies having arc shields that cannot be easily broken by the Relic. I like to hang out near the left side as shown here in the video, and wait for the 3 oracles to go down. Don't forget that you cannot drop the Relic until you bring down the shield of the Templar. Otherwise, you will lose all of the Relic's super energy, which will completely mess up the timing that your team needs to do DPS, and will cause a wipe. Once the oracles are down, give your team a moment to get into position, and do a quick 3, 2, 1 countdown to break the boss's shield. From here, you're going to want to be ready to find and get to wherever the Templar is attempting to teleport. So once you take the Templar's shield down, there's going to be 4 potential spots that the Templar can start to try to teleport to. You have one basically straight across from you at the top over on the right. You have 2 close to you, one directly to your left and one directly to your right. All 3 of those spots should be pretty visible from the spot that you're going to be breaking the shield from. So basically, if you don't see him in one of those 3 spots, you know he's going to be over in the 4th spot, which is over on the top of this little higher up brick area on the left here. If the teleport is close to you, either on your left or on your right, you can definitely take a chance to get 1 or maybe 2 shots in on the Templar before you go for the block, but if he's in one of the further spots, either on the right or on the left, you're going to want to get there immediately first. I'd recommend whenever you can using the outskirts of the map to traverse, again that meaning kind of going on the outside to the left to get to this spot, or if you're going to the right side, you're going to do the same thing except over on the outskirts or and around to get to the right side spot. If you really are in a pinch or you're going to get there super duper late, you can try to go through the middle, you can try to cut through some of the middle spots. I just would not recommend that unless it's an absolute necessity. Getting damage into the Templar whenever you can as you're rotating from spot to spot can be extremely helpful, but just remember that survival and actually getting to each teleport block are the absolute most important things. The 2 most dangerous spots to block are the 2 furthest spots on the left and right. The left block is actually still pretty safe if you crouch near the back right corner of the circle, as shown here, but the right spot can be pretty tough, especially as the round goes longer and more adds pile up. Don't be afraid to pop your super if you need to come to this spot in order to survive. If it's the first or the second teleport, you probably won't need your super, but again later in the round it can be quite helpful to have that super for safety. Also note that the Templar will never try to teleport to the same spot twice in a row, So if you get that far right spot, you'll know the next spot will be one of the less threatening ones. And again, use the back of the room near where your teammate is damaging from as the kind of home point and safest area of the room. Note that assuming your Titan is running Selma Saint 14 with the bubble, which they should be, running through will give you an instant overshield, which can be relevant to your survival in some situations. And one last tip. If it gets to the point where the oracles mark you and your team is getting close to killing the boss, finish off getting the last block and max out any last second DPS you can, as the oracles will kill you within the next few seconds anyway if you don't end up killing the boss. That's all for my Relic specific guide to acquiring your Timelost Fatebringer in Season of the Lost. Don't forget that I will be helping folks out multiple times this week and getting this highly sought after gun, and as always, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.